Hey everybody, I'm Giancarlo and introducing to Bored to Death, Erica Levine. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Now, just to be clear, she's not replacing Felicia. She's an add-on, right? So it's like improv, you add, you never subtract. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And this will be our review of
Warehouse 51.
That's right.
The year is 2038, the US is bankrupt, so it's time to auction off the relics from the Warehouse 51. Each player will play the role of a rich auctioneer trying to collect the most relics in each of the 4 categories. To set up, shuffle each category of relics and place them in the center of the table. Shuffle the counterfeit cards and place one face down between each player for a 4-player game, or 2 counterfeit cards in a 3-player game. Now each player can look at the ones to their left and right. These cards will tell you which of the relics are fakes in the auction. These won't be worth anything at the end score. Place the tokens under the relics and each player will take 10 gold ingots. You're now ready for the auction.
The first player will reveal a card from any of the 4 categories. The player to his left will start the bid using his gold. Play continues in a clockwise manner until only one player wins the auction by having all the other players pass. If you choose to pass, you're out of this auction. If you bid enough to win the card, give your bid to the player to your left and take that relic. Relics are placed in front of you. The number on top is the value of this relic. If you look at your player board, you'll see the amount and value of cards for each category. At the end of the game, you will score points for being first or second in each color. You'll also gain points for sets of 4 different colored relics and leftover gold you have. The winner of the last auction now chooses a category and auctions off the top card of it by having the player to the left start the bid. Unless the card has a closed hand icon like this one, in which case the auction is blind and each player will reveal their bid simultaneously. Again, the player with the most wins this auction and gives his bid to the player to his left, and play continues.
Let's take a look at some of the more in-depth rules. Some relics have special auras. These can be blessed or cursed. Some effects take place immediately when you win the relic. Others are permanent effects, and some are only good when scoring. If you ever have 5 or less gold at any time during the game, you can pawn one of your relics by placing a pawnbroker token on it to make 5 gold. This means that the item will not count when scoring, but you can buy it back by paying 10 gold when the endgame triggers. Finally, the authentic tokens can be used to protect one of your items from being counterfeit. Play goes on until the relics have been auctioned. At this point, the endgame scoring occurs. Starting with the player to the left of the one who won the last auction, players can buy back any relics they pawned for 10 gold. Players owning cards with the Certificate of Authenticity cards can assign these tokens on relics that they own that they might think are counterfeits. Lastly, reveal the counterfeit cards on the table, and unless protected by the authenticity tokens, remove those cards from the game. Now each player will total the value of their colored sets. The one with the most gets awarded points equal to the first place medal of that set, and the player with the second most gets awarded points equal to the second place medal. Each set of 4 different colored cards earns you 5 points each. Each group of 5 ingots also scores you 1 point. Don't forget any last endgame scoring cards, and the player with the most points wins.
Warehouse 51 puts that little extra bluff element into bidding games. It's also quite hard to keep a straight face knowing people are outbidding each other for a fake. And being part of that bluff and pushing them to bid more on it is gold. No puns intended. Mechanics are solid enough, though it is a little like being at a blackjack table. What I mean by that is that players seated with you really affect the game. Should you sit next to a player on your right that overbids everything, you'll have extra cash, or vice versa. If sitting next to the guy that never gets contested, you'll have little cash. Not necessarily a bad thing, just do keep an eye out for that. The theme is quite nice. I mean, pawning off mythical relics. Yep, I'm in. But this is a little pet peeve of mine, so be warned, I'm going to go off now. I lost the game because even though my opponent had a fake Book of Thoth, he got to activate its power. Like, how is that possible? It shouldn't have worked. It was a fake. Okay, rant done. Regardless, hard to stay mad at this game. It's light, casual, perfect little filler, good for beginners and some experienced players. Components are good enough, artwork's fine, just not too sure on replay value as the cards get known quite quickly. Still definitely a game you should try. Warehouse 51 gets a 7 out of 10.